Imagine being a national hero, being one of the greatest players in your country's history, then one day, poof, you are exiled and you can't return home. Welcome back to the Hakan Football YouTube channel, where today we are diving into the story of a national hero turned villain, at least in the eyes of their government. But first, hit that subscribe button, like the video, and let us know what other stories you want us to dive into. Okay, so let's set the stage. Hakan Sukur was the golden boy of Turkish football, a striker who could do no wrong on the pitch. With 112 appearances for the national team and 51 goals to his name, he was the pride of Turkey. But here's the twist. Today, even mentioning his name in Turkey can get you into serious trouble. But how did it all go so wrong? Now, I know there's a common saying, keep politics out of football, and even Gary Neville has a show called Stick to Football. But in Sukur's case, politics was the game changer. Born and bred in Turkey, Sukur spent 18 of his 21-year playing career in his home country. But now, setting foot in Turkey would mean he faces a prison sentence. Unbelievable, right? We will need to rewind and start at the beginning to truly understand this story. Hakan Sukur's football journey began in his hometown of Sapanca. He joined the Sakaryaspor youth team, and by the age of 17, he made his first professional appearance. Just imagine, one day you're playing youth football and the next you're stepping onto the pitch as a pro. And he didn't stop there. In his first season, Sukur scored the winning goal in a crucial match against Exile. And yes, I know I probably butchered that name. Over the next 3 seasons, he netted 18 goals in the Turkish Super League, catching the eye of one of the country's biggest clubs, Galatasaray. And this is where Sukur really made a name for himself. He wasn't just a player, he was a goal machine, scoring 19 goals in 30 games during his first season. They called him the Bull of the Bosphorus for a reason. He scored 54 goals in just 90 league matches. He was absolutely class. With Sukur leading the charge, Galatasaray won 2 league titles and a Turkish Cup. His success didn't go unnoticed, and in 1995 he made the move to Serie A, signing with Torino. But things didn't go as planned. After just 1 goal in 5 games, he returned to Galatasaray. Back in familiar territory, Sukur was unstoppable once again, racking up 108 goals in 158 matches. But the cherry on top, Galatasaray's victory over Arsenal in the 2000 UEFA Cup final, now known as the Europa League. The game went to penalties and Sukur coolly converted his spot kick, helping Galatasaray to a historic win against a star-studded Arsenal side. But the allure of Italy called once more, and this time Sukur joined Inter Milan. This time though, he found himself playing second fiddle to Ronaldo and Christian Vieri, and after 2 seasons he moved to Parma. But things didn't improve, only 3 goals in 15 matches. Then a brief stint at Blackburn Rovers in England didn't help either, so in 2003 Sukur returned to Galatasaray for the 3rd time. Though he wasn't as prolific as before, he still managed 55 goals in 146 games, adding 3 more trophies to his collection. And if you didn't know, Hakan Sukur is the world record holder for the fastest goal in World Cup history. His 10.8 second strike against Korea in the 2002 World Cup 3rd place match is the quickest that a goal has ever been scored. After winning the league in 2007-2008, Sukur decided to hang up his boots, leaving behind an incredible legacy. Top scorer in the Turkish League with 249 goals and a top scoring Turkish player in the Champions League with 22 goals. A true football icon. But Sukur wasn't done with making headlines. After retiring from football, he ventured into politics. In 2011, he was elected as Member of Parliament in Turkey, representing Istanbul. At first, he was part of the ruling party led by President Erdogan. However, Sukur soon found himself at odds with the party, mainly due to his ties to the Gulen movement. What's the Gulen movement, you ask? Well, the Gulen movement is a global network inspired by Fethullah Gulen, a Turkish religious leader. It began in the 1970s and focuses on promoting education, dialogue between different faiths, and helping communities. The movement has set up many schools and charities around the world. Initially, the movement was friendly with Turkey's government, but that changed over time. In 2016, the Turkish government accused the movement of being behind a failed attempt to overthrow the government. Since then, many people connected to the movement have been arrested or forced to leave Turkey. Okay, So now we have that out the way, let's continue. So after some disagreements, Sukur left Erdogan's party and continued as an independent MP. But things were about to get complicated. In 2016, Sukur posted some tweets that were seen as insulting to President Erdogan. This landed him in hot water and he was charged under the Turkish penal code. Things escalated quickly, he was tried in absentia and found guilty. Then came the failed coup attempt in Turkey, which the government blamed on the Gulenists. The aftermath was severe. Over 100,000 people lost their jobs and around 50,000 were arrested. Among those targeted was Hakan Sukur. Faced with an arrest warrant, Sukur fled to the United States. He could have denounced the Gulen movement and stayed in Turkey, but he chose exile instead. Now he lives in the United States, far from the life of fame and fortune he once knew. He even opened a cafe in California, but after some unsettling incidents, he gave it up. These days, he works as an Uber driver, a far cry from his glory days on the pitch. Back in Turkey, even Sukur's name is a sensitive subject. During the 2022 World Cup, a Turkish commentator mentioned his record-breaking 10.8 second goal, only to be sacked immediately after. It just goes to show how far he's fallen from grace in the eyes of the Turkish government. So there you have it, a story that's about much more than just football. Hakan Sukur's journey from national hero to political exile is a powerful reminder of how quickly things can change. What do you think? Could things have turned out differently if he had stayed away from politics? But maybe that's not what he wanted. Either way, even if Sukur was part of the Gulen movement or not, it means that he can no longer return to his home country. Maybe there's a place for him in the future back in Turkey, but at the moment, that doesn't seem likely to happen. For now, the Turkish people will just have to simply forget that he even existed, because if they say his name, well, they could lose their job. And just imagine your life. What would you do if you could no longer return to the country that you spent the majority of your life in? It's an interesting question and hopefully one none of us have to answer, but one Sukur did. Anyways, drop your thoughts in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this story, make sure to like, subscribe and hit that notification bell for more.